a word that's synonymous with Toyota. We all know it. 98 people out of 100 will all say the same word when describing Toyota: reliable. It's so reliable that people will not even think twice when recommending it to a friend or family member. So reliable that you're willing to bet money on it. How sure are we exactly that this is still true in 2024? Is Toyota screwed and losing a grip on its long-held reliability reputation? Not exactly. Toyota managed to sell about 55,000 Grand Highlanders so far in 2024, and now 145,000 Grand Highlanders have been recalled over a curtain airbag that will not deploy properly if the window is down, rendering it completely useless in a crash. Even though no one is forcing them, Toyota has issued a stop sale on the popular Grand Highlander. However, it is very unclear when the situation with the Grand Highlander will be resolved, if it even can be resolved retroactively, and we expect to know by August exactly when. Just to put things in perspective, Toyota has sold 78,000 Tundras. I'm talking like dealers can't even sell the ones that they have on their lots. And the Indiana plant has paused production of both the Grand Highlander and the Lexus TX completely. This bothers me a lot because we wouldn't have known about this issue if the good folks over at the IIHS didn't uncover this in a recent crash test that brought this to the attention of Toyota. And even digging further, we can even see that Consumer Reports even gave the Grand Highlander the same 80 out of 100 overall score that they gave the regular Highlander. What does this mean for buyers? Well, before the stop sale, there wasn't exactly a stockpile of Grand Highlanders to begin with, and the vehicle has been flying off the lots. The demand is high, like very, very high. Knowing Toyota, they're not playing the volume game and are likely going to keep demand sky high on it for the next few years. Now, the issue is, you'd think that Toyota would be more motivated to produce more units and discount them to regain some footing in the market. Wrong. Toyota is so concerned with the issue that they're willing to halt sales of it willingly. This is not required of them. They're doing it willingly, yet other manufacturers will let their vehicles remain on the road with primary airbag issues with no problem at all. Just Google Takeda airbag recall and you'll pull up dozens, if not hundreds, of related articles. What's this doing for me personally? It's telling me that Toyota is taking the issue very seriously. It's telling me Toyota is putting short-term profits aside to bolster a somewhat weakening reputation in the last few years and come back stronger on one of their most highly sought-after models. Many are likely going to be put on a waiting list and will likely be paying full sticker for these models once they're released back on the market by Toyota, once a remedy is figured out. I had such a hard time making this video because I really wanted there to be some negotiation leverage for you here, but really there isn't. It's making buying this damn thing harder than it already is. At the moment, Toyota has stop sailed. Stop sailed, a verb I made up meaning to stop the sale of, has stop sailed roughly 2,200 gas engine Grand Highlanders and 700 Grand Highlander hybrids. Your chances of actually getting a single dollar off are going to be way higher on the gas version Grand Highlander. It's usually always the XLE you've got the best odds of getting a great deal on. The typical Grand Highlander XLE all-wheel drive has an MSRP of about $47,152. Huge markup in the Grand Highlanders. Highlanders in general, actually. Getting 10% off of a Highlander back in the day was like a starting point, really. So many times I've ended deals off at like 14% off MSRP, and right now, that is not what I'm recommending in any way, shape, or form. The markup itself is about 8.5% between MSRP and invoice, and right now, targeting and getting this figure should be your end goal for sure. Difficulty level, solid 8.5 out of 10. However, with enough patience, you'll see a couple to a few thousand knocked off eventually. And honestly, with a projected 65% residual, getting a discount at all, it's legit money in the bank because the Highlander holds some serious value after 3 to 5 years. Solid purchase, honestly. And I'm going to tell you why you should buy instead of lease in a few seconds. Going after invoice is going to land you a selling price of $43,049. I use carsdirect.com quite often for both the absurdly useful data they provide, but also to connect with dealers and gather pricing to get the negotiation process started. I put my affiliate link to the Grand Highlander page in the description. Check it out after the video. Right now, Toyota is offering the shadiest $1,000 rebate I've ever seen, to be quite frank. It's $1,000, $1,000, but it comes with a huge catch. You have to finance with Toyota with no promotional rate, but just like an undisclosed standard rate that is really left up to the dealer to decide how they want to kindly manipulate for you at signing. How do I know this? Check out my cheat sheet in the description to see how I scrape incentives, promotions, and lease figures. Now, if you're going to be leasing, I've got a bit of a problem with the interest rate here especially. Like I mentioned, Toyota has set the residual on the Grand Highlander at a 65% for 3 years. Yet if you're going to be leasing, you won't really benefit from this in any way, really, because what you save in depreciation, Toyota recovers in the amount of interest that they charge on the lease. What I mean is right now they're charging 0.00304 on the money factor, or like 7.34% APR. Plugging this all into the lease calculator, assuming you get 8.5% off the sticker price once they actually start selling them again, assuming you're paying your inception fees and first payment at signing, and assuming you've blessed the like and subscribe button with your utmost respect and generosity, we'd be talking about $569 a month, and that's not including tax. It might not sound terrible, but if you look closely right here, you see that? Just kidding. If you look closely at the lease calculations, it calculates to like $8,000 in interest being paid over 3 years, yet it only depreciates like $13,000 in value. $1,600 is the quote I received from Geico for a 12-month policy on a Highlander. However, when I tried to plug in the Grand Highlander, I wasn't even given an option to actually select it. It wasn't on their list of vehicles. I'm not exactly sure why. However, I don't see the insurance premium being way more than the base Highlander. Just want to let you know, one of the resources I use to scrape data and get dealer pricing is in the description below. By going on to Cars Direct, you'll be able to use their data to formulate an offer, which you can actually just submit directly when requesting pricing through their site. If you prefer to do it on your own but want to know how I scrape the data I use for these negotiation guides, my cheat sheet will help you do this. Links for both in the description below. And if you made it this far on your way out, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.